it's quite frustrating because it's not just newspapers that's doing this. You have millions of people in this country, in Ireland, in Sweden, in Canada, that are just sick to death of seeing the government just pour the third world into their countries, and they see their own countries turn into the third world. That's why their people are fed up.
You think Britain
You
think Britain is now a third world country?
Well, it's getting that way.
Is it?
But I mean, it is getting that way. Some of the cities are it's a disgrace. But
what is happening in those cities, Chris, that you think resembles the third world?
Well, just the crime,
Right.
There's all like Sweden. I mean, I spoke to a shopkeeper there, and he has to have he's been threatened with a gun multiple times. I spoke to a girl who said you can't really go up this street. There's so many attacks from migrants. I mean, it's not, and I think we're such hypocrites. That woman brought up about the Asylum Act. Like we care about international law or anything. We don't even support right of return for the Palestinians to go back to their own homes, but we support asylum seekers from all over the world. And I don't blame them, by the way. I blame the government. It's not their fault. And if I was, I'd do exactly the same as them. But our government should stop it. We're an island. They should stop it with the Royal Navy in the Channel. Once the people get to this country, It's too late.
But Chris, what do you think's happened to violent crime in the last 30 years?
It doesn't get reported as much.
It's down 90%.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. But government manipulate figures,
But these aren't government. This is a survey of whether people have experienced violent crime. And in the period in which we've had mass migration, violent crime has fallen, according to the crime survey for England and Wales 2024, by 90%. So your rhetoric about migrants it's a proportionate sample of the population.
Yeah, but surveys could mean anything. You can manipulate them as well.
Right. So the official statistics are being manipulated, Chris, and your kind of unsubstantiated idea that migrants are driving violent crime because you spoke to a shopkeeper in Sweden, that's more.
It's not just one shopkeeper. People know it. Right. You can lie all day. People see what's happening to the country.
So people are lying. So when the researchers call up and say, "Have you experienced violent crime?" people are lying to them. But the shopkeeper wasn't lying to you.
Look, they can be manipulated. People, no, he wasn't lying to me.
Right.
Crime, this country is falling apart. People can see it.
So the official researchers that investigate crime in this country are being lied to, and you, Chris, with respect, are the one who sees the truth.
Not just me.
Not just you. So the officials, who's doing the manipulating?
The government.
The government. Which government?
Every government.
Right. So all governments in this country are manipulating official crime statistics, and you think that is more likely than the fact that your perception about violent crime having gone up might be wrong?
Look, I haven't got the figures on me.
But then why have you called to give me figures if you haven't checked the figures, Chris?
I didn't give you figures.
You did. You said violent crime's going up. You said since migrants have come to this country, there's more and more violent crime. And I've given you official figures that completely disprove what you're telling me. And rather than accept that you might be wrong, you've come up with some cock-a-hoop conspiracy that they've all been manipulated by consecutive governments.
Pardon? I'm interested in the truth. No, I will. I'll get back to. I'll call you up another time and I'll look into it.
How are you going to do that?
No, I'll look at the for the survey you mentioned and everything you said.
But you think it's fake? You think it's been manipulated?
A lot of things are manipulated. Yes,
right.
Figures are manipulated,
but not your opinion.
No, I've just told you. I said it could be manipulated, but
Chris, I mean this respectfully. But do you think it's possible that the way that the media in this country and politicians in this country talk about immigration might mean that it's your view that has been manipulated? Because you're right.
I've seen it for myself. But, there's crime in my own town,
and there's lots of crime in mine, Chris.
Yeah, and it's got worse.
Right,
it has got worse. But
and you blame migrants for that?
No, not just migrants. No, but it definitely in London and in Birmingham, Bradford. We've seen the mass rape gangs. They weren't. They were all foreigners.
They weren't all foreigners. Actually, there was a case very recently. It's a case about 6 months ago. of a rape gang in the north west of England that was entirely white and British. But of course, that didn't get reported on, Chris. And this is what I mean about manipulation. There you go again. All the rape gangs were foreign, because that is what certain politicians and certain parts of the media would have you believe. And you're not alone in thinking that. You're not alone in thinking that migrants are driving violent crime. Because that is the manipulation. That is what the likes of the Daily Mail, it's what the likes of Nigel Farage tell you. And people have accepted it as true, even when data and statistics suggest that it isn't. Chris, I appreciate the call.